on WPBRadio.com.
Join WPBRadio.com Tuesday, November 26th at Rams Head Live in downtown Baltimore for the BET Music Matters presents the Rebellious Soul Tour, starring Love and Hip Hop reality star, songwriter, and Atlantic Records recording artist K. Michelle. That's right, K. Michelle, along with singer-songwriter Seven Streeter. Live on stage, November 26th, 7 p.m. in downtown Baltimore at Rams Head Live. Log on to WPBRadio.com, click the prize vault, and enter for your chance to win 2 tickets for you and the guests to see K. Michelle and Seven Streeter performing live in concert. Get your tickets now at RamsHeadLive.com.
It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style and Kiani T. Agent host the Style Chronicles. Innovative, entertaining, out the box. Every Monday from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WPBRadio.com.
All right, people. Good evening. Good evening. It's an all-new Style Chronicles tonight.
Ow!
Yes. I am your host, Terrence Styles, and I'm in the studio with my lovely co-host,
Kiani T. Agent.
That's our live studio audience.
I love our live studio audience.
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too, Pumpkin.
I don't understand nothing you just said.
It's so good to see you too, Pumpkin.
I just heard pumpkin.
It's so good to see you too, Pumpkin.
Oh, I got
That's
it.
my Sophie voice.
Okay. All right.
From Modern Family.
Oh, I don't watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
But you watch all that other stuff.
Oh!
So, hi, everyone. Hi, Terrence.
Yes, it's another Monday. It's an all-new season of the Style Chronicles on WPBRadio.com. You need to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Check us out on our Chronicle website. It's the Styles Chronicles.wordpress.com and our official The Style Chronicles website, thestylecronicles.com.
Ow!
Yes, you can.
That's Style with 2 Y's.
Yes, Style with 2 Y's. Yes. You can follow me on Facebook, Terrence Styles with 2 Y's. Instagram, Terrence Styles. Not Instagram. Only one Mr. Styles on Instagram. And on Twitter, it's Terrence Styles. And you, Kiani?
On Facebook. On Facebook. I am just simply Kiani T. Agent Fierce.
Yeah, you
like
are
how
fierce.
I say, just
Fierce.
simply Kiani T. Agent Fierce. My website, KianiTagent.com.
Mm-hmm.
With all my link information. IG, I am just simply Agent Fierce with the gun. Agent Fierce.
Pew, 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 pew.
Policing,
Pew, pew, pew.
fashion,
Pew, pew.
violators
Pew, 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 pew.
everywhere.
Pew, 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 pew.
And on the Twitter, I am just simply at the Tenacious KTA.
Yes.
Tenacious spelled the way it's supposed to be spelled.
In the Webster Dictionary.
In the Webster Dictionary.
You're a lot of simplies.
Yeah, it's just simply.
Yeah, simply. I like it.
Thank you.
All right, guys, it's time for
The Styles Chronicle presents Weekend Recap on WPBRadio.com.
My weekend dance.
Yeah. Ow.
Do
Get
my
it?
weekend dance.
Hey, what you say, huh? What you? Hey.
Let me
what you
say that. I'm going to save my dances for November 8th.
Oh yes, we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about it.
Indeed.
So you wanna start off?
Surely. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so my weekend was active. Active in the sense of just getting fit, staying fit, and enjoying being fit.
I love it.
Yes.
Because
I'm fit. And I love it. And I'm fabulous. Anyway, so Friday, I went to the gym. The power was out. So you know what I did? I didn't let that deter me. I jogged around a local park. And it was really fun. Then later on at night, I went to another gym, just a regular gym that had a basketball court and all that. And I worked out.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
I know. But Saturday, that's the highlight of my fitness weekend. As everyone knows, I play football.
Yes.
Terrence isn't too thrilled about it.
I'm not.
But I love it because that's my fun exercise where you're just not thinking about it. You're just
Right.
out there being competitive and have fun. So with my weekend recap, I was thinking of like just encouraging folks. You know, if you don't like going to the gym, you don't like going out for a run, or you feel like I can't run, there's so many adult activities, fun, safe, and you keep your clothes on.
Yeah, you gotta. Right, I'm glad you.
Right.
I'm glad you
Fun,
did.
safe, and you keep
'Cause
your
know,
clothes
my eyes
on.
are starting to get big. Like, that's really.
That you can sign up for that'll keep you active and you won't think you're exercising. So you can sign up for flag or tag football. They have softball leagues, bowling leagues, like just something just to keep your heart rate up,
I like
get
that.
your body moving, get your blood flowing and all that. So my encouragement for my weekend recap, because like I said, it was all about fitness.
Mhm.
It's just for folks to get up, get out, and get active.
I love it.
Thank you, boo.
I like it a lot. I do. On my weekend recap, Friday I went to the movies.
Oh, look at you.
I went with my buddy Will. We went to see Carrie.
Liam.
Yeah, we went to see Carrie, which was pretty good. I haven't seen the originals. It was, there was like 3 remakes.
Right.
So I haven't seen the originals in a long time, but I think I'm gonna get them just to see what it was about. But it was pretty good. The young lady who played Carrie, she did a phenomenal job.
Oh,
Very,
awesome.
very cute girl. That was good. Did that, hung out with Will for a minute, and then Saturday I was in the house most of the day. Saturday, I was cleaning up, just because I have been neglecting my house. So I was doing some cleaning and rearranging some things and just, doing that. And then Sunday I was in the house. I went out later on Saturday. And then Sunday I was in the house doing homework all day Sunday mostly. So that was pretty much my weekend. Yeah, it was really like that. I know, not too exciting. I know y'all people think I'm...
You're so boring.
I know.
So I'm joking.
Most people think I probably just do it up every weekend. No, people...
Yes, Terrence.
Exactly. Exactly, Kiani. I bet you people probably think he probably does it up every weekend. They probably think I stay inebriated and everything. No, people, I don't. I live a boring life as I get older. But yeah, so that was pretty much my weekend.
Awesomeness.
Yeah, and I'm sorry the Ravens lost.
To the Steelers, no less.
Yeah, I know, right?
I can handle any other L
I know.
but an L to the Steelers. That rivalry is
That
just
rivalry
so...
is never going to go away.
And, going into work today, someone had the audacity to sit in the front lobby with the Steelers shirt on. What made it even worse is that they don't even work in that building.
Oh!
They were visiting someone, and it's like, why are you here?
Right.
Don't want you here. Wait in your car. Don't be here.
Go night-night!
Go night-night.
Right.
Made me very upset.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, that's our weekend recap, guys. We hope you had a great weekend. If you want to, tell us your weekend, by all means, you can call us up, 888-400-5574. We would love to hear from you.
Yes, and if you don't want to talk live on the air, you can
Right.
actually go to our website. We have a community there on the StyleChronicles.com. Go to the forum tab. You can log on, sign up, register, all that
Right.
good stuff, and share your weekend with us.
Yes, please. We would love to.
hear
Yeah,
from
we
you.
want to hear from you. Maybe we'll shout you out. So, yeah, hit us up. All right, guys. So we're going to take a music break. When we come back, we're going to have our Style Report. All right? More Style Chronicles in a minute. Don't go nowhere.
It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style and Kiani T. Agent host the Style Chronicles. Innovative. It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style and Kiani T. Agent host the Style Chronicles. Innovative, entertaining, out the box. Every Monday from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WPBRadio.com.
Okay, can I just say, like, I mean, I before we get into our style report, I just gotta say, like, I'm only addicted because we're both now on there together, and we can, like, for us, like,
Yes.
I'm outside of that, I'm not that pumped. But so I created a
Bit strip. What you say?
What you call me?
Right.
I
Bit strips.
Oh, I thought you said something else. Oh, I was about to throw these
You
headphones.
really have to
off.
enunciate when you say that. Like, oh, that's a bit strip, boy.
What?
What? Bit strip.
So I created a bitch strip. And I'm only excited because now we could interact with each other. That's y'all better watch out now because
There's gonna be so many
Right.
Kiani and Terrence bit strips.
right. I just saw one where it said Terrence and Kiani try not to look at it, try to avoid eye contact while in the locker room.
Like, I don't know you. I don't know you. Just look the other
That's
way.
it's too funny. Like I'm going to have so much fun. I crack myself so up.
Don't crack yourself so up.
I know. So you guys know what time it is.
Chronicle presents the Style Report on WPBRadio.com.
All right, so today is Monday, October the 21st. Yes, I said October the 21st. All right, so celebrity highlights.
21.
Yes.
21.
The rumor mill is churning with buzz that Jamie Foxx and Katie Holmes are a couple. Rumors started this past August when Katie and Jamie were spotted getting cozy at an Hamptons charity event. The duo danced together to Robin Thicke's sexy Blurred Lines, and the actor reportedly grabbed her butt during the evening. Right? Holmes' rep insisted that they were just friends, but sources tell In Touch that they're definitely a couple. Katie and Jamie have been dating for a while, an insider said, adding that Jamie has secretly been spending time at Katie's apartment. But of course, Fox is denying it. The Oscar winner just told Entertainment Tonight the rumors are 100% not true. In fact, it's quite hilarious because we simply danced at a charity event along with a lot of other people, he said. As In Touch points out, Jamie once told Oprah that he never kisses and tells. Whoever you're dating, don't let anybody know, he once told the media mogul. Kiani, I guess this one will stay on the down low until one of them admits it. All right.
Come up front.
Right, exactly. So in television news, tonight is the premiere of the TLC story entitled Crazy Sexy Cool, starring Keke Palmer, Drew Sidora, and Little Mama. Tune in at 9 o'clock on VH1.
While you're listening to us, of course.
Yes, right, exactly. But it'll repeat again at 11:30, so that's when I'll catch it.
Yes.
And it looks like from the previews of the premiere, it looks pretty good. So I'm excited to see how it all turns out. Actually, T-Boz and Chili and Keke, Drew, and Little Mama were on Wendy Williams last week talking about it and everything. So, and they was telling a little bit about the backstory about Pebbles and TLC. Like TLC had to buy their name from Pebbles $1 million a letter. So they had to spend $3 million to get their name. And TLC's working on new music, and they just put out, they have a new CD. It's called 20, for 20 years in the business. So, speaking of 20 years, I was on online, and I happened to come across this video that all these celebrities were celebrating Brandy's 20 years in the business. It was so touching.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, you know, I did see that.
So many artists like was congratulating her 20 years in the business and things of that sort. So I was like, wow, that's cool. So 20 years, bigs up to you, Brandy Norwood, for 20 years in the business.
I wanna be there.
Yes, with
what you're going through. I wanna be down. I wanna be down with you. Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry, I had to do the hand move. All right, another television news for all the Love and Hip Hop fans. So season 4 of Love and Hip Hop New York is back with familiar faces and a few newbies to add some flavor to reality TV. Some of the familiar faces will be Yandy Smith, Erica Mena, Rich Dollars, Joe Button, to name a few. Newcomers, Keisha Cole's cousin, K. Michelle from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
History.
Right. Peter Guns and his love interest are bringing new drama to the Big Apple. So tune in on October the 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the premiere episode on VH1. In other television news, Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones are on the road to marital bliss, or are they? As they're still trying to figure out how to make their love story last forever. So last season, Jim desperately wanted a baby, but we think they solved that issue this time around by letting Jim's 10-year-old son from another relationship move in with them. So that should give Chrissy time to pursue her own career in the fashion industry. So far, there's no sign of Emily B, but Jimmy's mother, Mama Jones, is down for the ride. Season 2 of Chrissy and Mr. Jones premieres October 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on VH1. In film news, rumors have been circling the developments of a biopic that chronicles the life of the late Martin Luther King Jr. Turns out the rumors are true. Director of the project, Oliver Stone, recently chatted with Wall Street Journal to confirm that the film, along with its lead actor, y'all ready? Jamie Foxx, has been given the green light. Both Stone and Foxx are no stranger to each other's work, having worked together in 1999 for the football drama film Any Given Sunday, which would also star LL Cool J. That's when that rumor was that LL and Fox got into a brawl during the film because they played football players. Yeah. So, according to the Wrap, Steven Spielberg is also in on the project as a producer for DreamWorks, along with the King family as possible executive producers. The movie is currently untitled. So, can you see Jamie Foxx playing Dr. Martin Luther King? Remember we used to say that. Right. I want to hear the Dr. Martin Luther King song.
It's possible.
Think so?
Yeah. It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible. It's possible. Oh, sorry. In music news, it looks like divorce is going around in the music industry.
Wow.
Not only has Timbaland's wife filed for divorce, but Monique Mosley is demanding equal child support for both their 5-year-old daughter and her 10-year-old from another relationship. Mosley, who's been in a relationship some 10 years with the hit-making producer and married 5, says Timbaland is the father by default, since he has publicly and privately proclaimed this child as his own.
If it ain't on paper.
So, how do you...
First of all, let me tell you how I have that up right now.
I know. I saw that it was wild that you did that because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to talk about this tonight.
Yeah, let me tell you why I'm heated about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my... This is why I'm heated about it. Okay, lady. All her demands, like after reading all her demands, it's like, what were you married for?
Right.
Like, true, we don't know the whole story. We don't know why she feels the need to divorce. Right. However, lady, you sound like a gold digger right now.
Ooh.
And that's the truth. Like, you sound like a straight up and down gold digger. Because not only, like you said, she's asking for child support as the child they have together, which is understandable. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, if he was going to support his child, he's going to support his child. Like, How do you even know that he doesn't want custody of the child? True. But to ask for child support for a child that you had with another man, where the heck is this other man? Right. That's who you need to be going after child support for. Right. Not just because Timbaland make buku dollars, you think, oh, you know what, I'm going to get my life off of this. She is asking for permanent alimony, which means, AKA, I don't want to ever get a job. Right. She's also asking for money for vacations, for summer camps for the kids, for private schools. It's like, okay, lady. We don't know the whole story. However, you're asking for a lot. And you've only been married for 5 years. And a lot of people are like, oh, 5 years is a long time. In marriage's sake, 5 years isn't really a long time. Right. True, they have been dating for 10 years, but then it makes you wonder, you've been dating for 10 years and you have a 10-year-old child with someone else. So that means that you were either pregnant or you just had the baby, like when you met Timbaland. Exactly. So where's that baby's daddy? Exactly. Like, Miss, have several seats. No, have a bench. Yes, have a whole bench. Have a bitch strip. She probably did. Her going to the bank. Right. So I personally want to hear from those listeners out there. Like, what do you think about, what do you think about that? Yeah, I definitely want to hear from the listeners. Another thing that was in the article that had me rolling is that she's also suing or asking for the legal fees to file for the divorce because she had to borrow the money from a friend. Miss, what are you doing? You don't have income for yourself?
Apparently not. That is a no.
Like even you know how I feel about these reality shows, but even
Right.
all these reality shows that these ladies got their own hustle in some kind of way.
Some kind of way.
Some kind of way.
Yeah.
So you don't have no income on your own, and you want him to pay for legal fees to file divorce against him? Have several seats.
Right. And going along with this whole divorce thing in the music industry, Master P's wife, Sonia Miller, has sought out to dissolve her marriage to the hip hop mogul. Mrs. Miller filed the documents for legal separation, which have been obtained by TMZ. In them, she looks to end her 24-year marriage due to irreconcilable differences. She wants spousal support and full custody of the 4 minor children between her and Master P. The pair has allegedly been separated since 2011, but neither one filed for an official divorce until now.
Wow.
What is going on with the divorce? What is?
I have no clue. Now, for the
What's
sake
the
of
tea?
Master
Tell me,
P's
what's
wife,
the
she's been there from day one, but I'm hoping and praying, even though nothing is being said on Timberland's behalf, but hopefully he had a prenup.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, this day and age, chicks, I don't care what y'all think, but if the dude make any kind of dough, he should ask for a prenup. It is not questioning your love for him and all the stuff like that. It's making sure on the back end
Right.
that his assets are covered.
Exactly.
Because I know for sure, I don't care if I got $1 to my name, we signing the prenup.
Right.
Because you just never, you never know people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people always think prenups really mean that you're expecting us to get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that safety blanket for just in case anything dumb does come about.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I wish I was Timberland right now. And it's like, you asking me for what? You
Right.
want what?
That's a negative.
What?
Yeah.
Like, how many hours you spent in the studio with me?
Exactly.
How many beats did you make? How many records did you sell? Like,
I give you some money, but yeah.
like taking care of the babies.
I got you.
Even though one of them ain't mine,
Right.
but I'm quite sure he probably, because he has been there, he probably was
And probably
willing
being
to
the
do-
man that he is, he'd probably step up and do it anyway. But don't tell me that's what I need to be doing. Let me make that. Give me I hate when people take your options away.
Right.
I hate that. Don't take my options
Just straight
away.
up, I'm going to ask for all of this.
Right. Let me make the decision. Like, don't
But-
worry about it.
but
I got your 10-year-old as
Before
well.
I break my touchpad, but again, I just want to know what the heck is going through her head that she's not even thinking about trying to go after. Clearly, the original father, biological father, whatever you want to call him, has not been in the picture
Exactly. Apparently.
since day one.
Yeah. Not, yeah.
You got a 10-year-old, you've been in a 10-year-old, what?
Right. Hey, that's another thing. Can the fellas that are out there listening, or ladies, if you got some fellas around you that's listening, like, fellas, could you start messing with somebody who's already pregnant when you meet them?
That is a good question. And after this whole thing, they probably won't, because they going to try to stick it for your papers.
Right. It was to try to stick me for my
Stick it
papers,
for my
son.
papers. Like, this ain't even my child.
Right. But how you gonna force me to pay child support for somebody that kid that
I'm
ain't
telling
mine?
you.
Let me have that option. I know that I've been all that person's father in their life, but let me make
I
that
hate
option.
to say it, but for reality TV, this trial, this whole court proceedings for this
Will be good
needs
for
to be
TV
televised.
televised, yes.
It needs to be televised.
Love and Hip Hop. Somebody, one of y'all franchises,
Right.
pick it up, because it's Love and Hip Hop, isn't it?
It should be called Timberland. She tried to get me for my papers.
That'd be the tagline
Right.
underneath.
She trying to get me for my papers.
Try to get me for my papers, son. Okay, before we go, can I just say I'm looking at the bit strips and with us, and it says it's the Terrence and Keone Comedy Hour, and tell her. There is one that says, "Don't worry, Keone, Terrence won't let them get you. It's got you going up into the spaceship. The aliens are coming to get you." Then they got one that said, "Keone can't stand Terrence's fake laugh."
And
This is gonna be so funny. OMG. Oh, on that note,
yeah, it's time for
all right, guys,
break
we're gonna-
a la
right.
musica.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a music break. When we come back, we got more Style Chronicles. Don't go nowhere.
It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style and Keone T. Agent host the Style Chronicles. Eastern Standard Time on WPBRadio.com.
All right, people. Woo. I hope y'all were rocking. I hope that was some good Faith Evans going on for y'all. Getting that on and popping. Tonight is going to be a great chronicle, as our chronicles usually are. But our chronicle for tonight is no more drama. But before we get into our chronicle, I have one of our new segments is back. Remember I told you every first and third Monday of the month, we have our segment. It's called True Life with Troy the Trainer.
True Life.
So,
All right.
Troy is in the studio. Yes. True Life. Tell us before you get into your spill. Tell us about the true life. Like, what does that mean to you?
Okay.
Hold up. Rewind. Why are you in B-boy mode right now?
I mean, Troy got his hat on backwards, so I just feel like I needed to give that to him. He's sitting right across me, so I just got to give him that love. You know what I'm saying, son? Don't hate on that, Keone. Don't hate. Son, like, Troy, tell us what the true life is about, son.
True life is the real you every day.
Okay.
That should be how you aspiring to live your life. That should be, your first goal to progress and be the best you can be.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, just get into your segment. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
All right. Once again, I am Troy the Trainer, creator and lead coach of True Force Integrative Health and Fitness Systems, which is a personal training company that utilizes holistic approaches to health, fitness, and wellness to ensure maximum efficiency and long-lasting results with all my clients.
Well, and I am a client.
Yes.
And I do approve that message.
Right. I need that.
Oh, my God. You're so silly.
So just like before, the way my segment goes, I open up with a quote. And a quote is to get things jumped off and kind of get you to think a little bit. So the quote today is in the spirit of no drama in your life.
Mm-hmm.
The quote is, "If I cut you off, chances are you gave me the scissors."
What?
Church.
Right? Yes.
Yes.
Should I run it back?
Yes.
Say it again. Say it one more again.
One more again. If I cut you off, chances
God
are
damn it, you gave me the scissors. You gave me like 3 pair.
Well, cut him off. He was saying it again.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
It's all good as long as the message is getting out there.
I'm super. See, I'm trying to calm my nerves, but that just hit home because you know how many people we cut out our lives.
Oh, yeah.
Hold up. How many people we don't cut out our
Oh,
lives?
that too.
Wow.
And a lot of them that they gave, we didn't even know they were giving us the scissors, and we didn't even know it until Troy just said it.
So, because my core initiative is based on 4 points of wellness and fitness, this all ties into emotional fitness.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is all important. I mean,
Right.
just like your physical, the mental has to be right. Your emotions have to be in check. And that's the only way you can truly progress and jettison all that BS in your life. So tonight we're going to discuss the 80-20 principle
Okay.
and why you should cut off or cut back on a certain nouns in your life. In other words, the people, places, or things. So we're going to talk about what the 80-20 rule is and where it came from.
Okay.
So the 80-20 or Pareto's Law was created by an Italian economist named Vilfredo Pareto. And he did this in 1906. And he basically created a mathematical formula that described the unequal distribution of wealth in Italy, which is where he's from. So it states that 20% of the people own 80% of the wealth. And the beauty behind this, it applies to everything in life. I mean, you could take it in any business structure. So in the spirit of no drama, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
How about the 20% of people in your life cause 80% of the drama in your life?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
Should we run that one
Oh.
back?
Yeah.
I think the show is done now.
But all right.
Let's run that one
This
back.
about to be just a Troy show. Like, forget the Style Chronicles.
Nah, I need
You don't
y'all.
need
I
parents,
need y'all.
Keone. No, we don't need us.
Like, we can leave, Keone. We got to get ready for the next
Here's
day.
our guest. You can
Right.
interview
You
him.
just run it. You just run it. You good.
Once again, 20% of the people in your life will cause, every single time, 80% of the drama in it. Cut
That's
the bad
deep.
fruit, people.
Cut it.
Now, now you may be asking, okay, so, what type of people should I look to cut out of my life? That's a very good question.
Yeah.
First of all, toxic people.
Ooh.
The people that when you're just around, they just make you sick. Like they take something from you with
They're
they can say
draining.
nothing and just take everything from you. Cut them out of your life. Or what about, what I call life vampires? The ones that drain the energy, that just have nothing but bad things to say. And just everything that you have to give, they take and never give anything back.
Wow.
Or only when they have what they need do they ever tend to your needs. Huh? Let's talk about it.
The ones that always call you up, girl, guess what happened to me today? And then you turn around and be like, guess what happened to me? Oh, well, but let me tell you what.
No, first of all, hey, how are you? How was your day?
They just want to go right into, girl, let me tell you. And then as soon as you be like, oh, you know what? I had the same thing happen. Okay, that's good. But let me finish telling you about this. You're like, what?
But wait a minute. Can you pause?
Can we have
Can you
dialogue?
breathe? First of all, can you breathe? My Lord.
And once again, Kiani, is currently my client. And,
Indeed.
And she's the first class. I mean, she's one of the elite now. She's showing people, the stuff that I've taught her, and it's to the point now where I don't even need to do what I'm doing no more.
She all right.
And you can hate on me.
I just gave you the scissors.
Hater.
I just gave you the
Yes,
scissors.
you did.
But Kiana, you were saying some of the things that you had to let go in your life.
Oh, man, can I spend an hour telling my life story?
You ain't got that much time.
But no, it's definitely true. In the 2 years, because I've officially transitioned for 2 years now, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say transition. That sounds
I like ascended. How about ascended?
Yeah.
Ascending. I love
That's a much
that.
better
Did you
word.
see me ascend?
Nah.
But
Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul.
as I ascended, there were things and people that I had to let go, plain and simple. There are the people who, even small things with me trying to lose weight, eat healthier. I had to get rid of the friend, not get rid of them. Let me retract that.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to change my habits of hanging out with them.
Mm-hmm.
When we went 10 o'clock at night going out to eat, or 2 o'clock in the morning after the club going to get big old breakfast and this, that, and the other. Like,
Just unnecessary stuff.
like I had to disconnect myself from those who still had those habits. So I wouldn't continue on in those habits because I'm trying to mature better habits for myself. So, yeah, I can definitely. And then, yeah, as far as the emotional part, there are some I had to cut loose. Like, look, where I'm going.
You ain't going.
You ain't going.
There's not enough room in the car.
Exactly. Like, sorry.
You know?
It was real, but it's time to move on. Thanks for the scissors.
Right.
There you go. There you go.
Were they platinum scissors?
Oh, you know it. Blamed out and everything.
So, with all that being said, I do have some tips to help you get drama free. Free yourself of that excess baggage. My first tip would do a cost benefit analysis of the people in your life. Treat your life like a business, because that's what it is.
That's very true.
And what I mean by cost benefit is, if your cost outweighs the benefit, I can't deal with you.
Sorry, I'm spending too much on this. I ain't getting nothing out of it.
There you go. Every time.
Paris is about to run around here.
I'm subdued.
And also, it's everybody out there, encourage you to, get a journal, write some of these things down, because we're doing this every single week.
Journal is a good idea, people.
Every time I'm on, I should say. So that way we have something to build on, something to reference to, and, you'll have a good catalog of information that you can use and arm yourself with this fight against, people trying to take your life.
I like that.
Straight up. So my second tip would be, know the difference between giving up and giving out. So giving up is, I just don't want to do anything. I'm just not good enough, or this is just too much, and I can't progress, and all these excuses that will stop you from being the best you can be. And giving out is just saying, look, I can't do what you want me to do anymore. I can't do what's holding me back. Let me just give up what's holding me back so I can go forward. You dig it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know,
I think I'm tapping out, Troy. I thought I was strong enough to hold in, but I think I'm tapping out a little bit, just a little bit.
Don't do that.
Just a little bit. I'm in there. Go ahead.
And last but not least, learn to be selfish, not greedy.
Well,
Take that in. Take that in.
Things that make you go, wow.
And I
like
got a
that.
good client, and I'm gonna shout out, Shamara. Like,
Sorry, that's my mama.
You know, that was the big thing, and she took that and really internalized that, and she was able to keep pushing towards her goals. And now she's making big strides. So shout out to her and every client that I have. Team True Force.
Team
shout
True
out.
Force.
You know,
And to expand on that, like I really do like the idea of being selfish. Like a lot of times people will take selfish as a negative thing, but it can be very positive
course
if you
it can.
taking the time out for you, doing what's necessary for
Of course
you.
it can.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't gonna do it, nobody else is gonna do
That's
it.
true.
and that's the opposite of greedy. You're greedy when you have everything you need, but you want more.
Well,
Leave some for somebody else. Help them. That's greed. Cut that out.
yes.
Be selfish, but cut that out. One more time. One more time.
One more again.
Everybody, learn to be selfish, not greedy. Know the difference.
All right. Woo.
It'll take you a long way.
Indeed.
So once you learn to, like even with just weight loss, like a big portion of what I do, is weight loss and performance training. But it once again these concepts, of wellness, spiritual, financial, emotional. These are the building blocks to create long-lasting change and results that you won't have to look up tomorrow and say, oh, where'd it go? I got to do this all over again. If you change it from within, make it intangible, something you can't touch, you'll always progress. So once you let go of the things that weigh you down, you find what lifts you up. So
I love it.
I love it.
Yep, but
Use
once
your
you,
own phrase.
I just
okay,
gave it a scissors.
So if you learn to take these tips and the information that was given today, your emotional fitness will be that much stronger.
Love
I
it.
love that.
Love it. Love it.
I love it.
Yep. So, and as always, I'm gonna leave you with a question. To write in your journal. So the question is, if you could identify the people in your life that are holding you down right now, what would you do? Would you put them on notice? Would you just drop them and say, look, I got to get with it? Or would you do nothing and allow them to do exactly what they've been doing?
And chances are people already know who those people are.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
You always know. It's you either gonna decide to do something about it or you're not. You know it. You just
Right.
Trying to weigh that in your mind, like, can I, does it even matter?
Right. Okay.
Yep. So, and that's what we have today. And as always, stay true to your life, the real you every day. This is Troy the Trainer, and I'll holler at you next time.
Love
All
it.
right.
Thank you so much. You know what, Troy? One of the things that you had put in your synopsis that I definitely want like the listeners to take a hold on is when you were talking about the 80-20 principle. I love how you phrase why you should cut off or cut back on certain nouns in your life. Person, place, or thing. And I like that because, a lot of times people think cutting off something, they always think of cutting a person off. But there might be a thing that you need to cut off or a place you need to stop going
There
to.
you
Like,
go.
Well, stop going to them back alleys, ladies and fellas.
Right,
Did I just say that out loud on air?
certain club. I mean, just anything. So that's pivotal. Like again, going to my journey, like I had to stop hanging out and drinking and this because it was negating everything I was doing in the gym or food that I was cutting back because I was drinking it in Cali. Like it's like certain things you just have to either cut back on or cut completely off. Love it.
I love it. Yeah. So Troy, let our listeners know how they can get in contact with you if they want to talk to you further or get a
Okay.
consultation or any of that.
Sure. My email is lrncoaching@gmail.com. You can also hit me on Facebook, Troy the Trainer. And any information you want, knowledge is free every time. So hit me up, consultation. We can just talk about how to make you better.
I love it. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, all the listeners around the world, that Troy comes on the show every first and third Monday. So make sure you stay tuned for that if you want to get more, more advice and more knowledge and more education about having a true life.
True life, the real you
The
every
real you.
day.
Because my Kiani is a product of it. She should be having like a be on the billboards or something, or do a promo or something for true.
If the
True
fro could
voice.
fit on the
Right,
billboard.
it would just be the fro. You wouldn't even see her.
Right.
It would just be the fro.
Takes on a life of his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Just
It takes
walk
over my
around.
life.
Don't walk behind a bush, and then all they just see is the fro.
Oh, man.
The fro is moving, but no Keanu. Like, wait, a fro is walking. What the world? What the world?
Now, you know, it's so funny that you say that because at work, a lot of my
The
coworkers,
cubicle?
they're just like, I see the fro bouncing through. They be like, I can tell when you're
Priceless.
coming because I can see the hair over
Priceless.
the top of the cubicle.
Oh my gosh, priceless, absolutely priceless. But Troy, it's an absolute pleasure always to
Yes.
have you on.
Always.
I look forward to the next time you're on the show and whatever stuff he's gonna come up with.
I know. This one was deep.
Right? It got down to the core. My Lord.
It's supposed to though.
Yeah, it is. Most
You know,
definitely.
you got to make them uncomfortable a little bit. You got to shake that out.
Yeah,
of
that
people,
is
you
true.
know?
That is true.
Yes, indeed.
All right, guys, we're going to take a music break. When we come back, we're going to get into our chronicle for tonight. Our chronicle tonight is No More Drama. All right, we're in our third chronicle of the season, and we have some guests in the studio. One you're very familiar with, and the other you will become familiar with.
Very.
All right?
Jeez.
More Style Chronicles in a minute. They're going nowhere.
See you on the flip side.
It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style. Entertaining Out the Box. Every Monday from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WPBRadio.com.
All right, people, we're back.
Hey.
I had to interrupt that conversation.
Hey.
It was about to be some blood was about to be.
Oh, it's about to get
blown-
ugly.
Yeah, it was about to be spread all over the studio. They didn't want that happening because we have some Redskins fans in the studio. We have
Squealers
some Steelers
fans, Deadskins and Squealers
some
fans.
Steelers
Say
fans
it right.
and Ravens fans. It's too much going on, so I didn't want no blood spread anyway, and it get all on me and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so we're back. It's an all new season of the Styyle Chronicles. We're in our 4th season. Our season is entitled Chapter 4. We're in Chronicle 3. Our chronicle for tonight is No More Drana.
Yes, we don't want none of that.
We don't know none of that either. No
Cut
more.
the drama out your life.
Cut the drana out.
Little women, hold up. Disclaimer. Anybody named Drana, we're not
No,
calling anybody.
I'm glad you said, see? So I love you. High five. Yes. Drana, we sorry, but we don't want no more of you either. I freaking love you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I could never ask for a better co-host than Keone T. Agent. I swear.
Keone Tagent. Get it right.
Keone Tagent. But yes, our chronicle tonight is No More Drama. We're honoring Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we have 2 lovely ladies in the studio who are going to discuss our chronicle for tonight as well as tell a little bit of their story. And one you guys have heard before on several occasions. We have always Rita is in the studio. So she's not our guest co-host today. She's actually a guest, and she made it known that I'm going to act like a guest and not a guest host. Okay,
Absolutely.
you deserve that. I bow down.
Thank you. Nah, I bow down.
And how long have we known each other? Oh my gosh, we go way back.
We do.
Keena Hodges in the studio. Keena is a mother. She is a fitness instructor. She's an actress.
Model
She's a model extraordinaire. I had to do all those things. Extraordinaire. Yes. Shout out to Keena. Right, and she's a dead skin. Right, yeah.
Yeah, ended
She
on
doing a
that
pageant wave. Thank you all.
I'm
Thank
going
you
with the
so
wind.
much. Right. Keena, how long have we known each other?
It's been some years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been
Before, oh my gosh,
maybe
when you were still modeling,
05.
like really, really heavy.
Yeah, probably 05.
Oh, my-
06.
Wow,
You just
time
made me
flies.
feel old when I was
No,
really modeling, you know.
No. Then we was like really heavy, but now you got really into acting and things. Like you're really into that now, and the fitness hardcore. Like you being a full-time mom, I know that's a lot. So I know the modeling is you've done it, but not.
And still doing it.
And yeah, I know you still but I know the acting is taking the
He's trying
forefront.
to retire you right now.
I'm not retiring. I guess I'm getting confused with the character.
Yes, you are. Nicole, yes. Bless Nicole.
But I know acting is really heavy too for you, so that's why I'm seeing you more as an actrice.
Yes, because you're my agent. In one
Yes,
of the projects
yes,
that I won.
yes, I
Please,
am.
my agent
Yeah, I do.
on Anacostia.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, come on. No. Anywho, all right. So,
And cue the birds.
Right.
She's really good at that.
she is. When she does that every time, people on the show, they're like, "Oh my god, is that really you? When did you do that?" And somebody
It sounded
said,
like
"Is
a
that you? Was that a?"
raven. Oh.
They thought it was an effect. Oh,
Shade.
And on that note,
the shade of it all. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. So our chronicle for tonight is No More Drama. So I reached out to these lovely ladies because I don't know their whole story. I know snippets, but they were willing to come on the show and disclose some of their story and some awareness out there for anyone that may be in a domestic violence situation. And it could be for anybody, men, women, child, it doesn't matter. I know back in the day it was very present for women, but now, men are in that situation as well. So they're trying to put some, give their story as well as, I'm sure they'll give some pointers of how to get out of that situation and be able to progress in life and still be able to have a prosperous life no matter what you may be going through or had gone through. And maybe if you're listening and you have gone through that, but you've, you got through it and, through the willingness of God and whoever you believe in, definitely you're more than welcome to chime in. You can call us up at 888-400-5574 and, and share your story with us. I'm going to start with Keena. because it was something you sent me, and I'm not gonna go into it. I'll let you decide on how you want to address it. That I heard about. I didn't actually read it, but when you sent it to me, I was like, "Oh, that's right. I did hear about this," and which is blew my mind because I read it to Kiani, and she was like, "What?"
Where does that happen?
Right, exactly. So kind of
Right.
go back, I guess if you will, back to that time where it was an unpleasant situation for you, an unpleasant moment, and unpleasant time in your life that you want to share.
How long I have? I'm just kidding. We can talk about this all night.
Right.
Okay, well, I'll say I met my son's father, who's my former abuser, my senior year in college, and that was 2000 or so. And we started dating when I got back. We were more seriously dating when I got back from Sweden. I was playing basketball overseas, so I kind of fell in love with him or who he portrayed himself to be, and I learned that that's not who he really was. And I think that happens a lot with women. We ignore the signs because he looks good, or
Right.
let's be real, the sex is good, or we at the moment that's what we think is really good, and
Right.
so we experience something else. And it domestic violence, at least in my situation, didn't start off where he just walked up to me one day and hit me. It started with a shove here and then a push there, and then maybe cornering me or something like that. And it was a year and a half of just abuse. It depended on, and most of it came from me catching him cheating and, confronting him about it. And there were a number of incidents that occurred. We don't have a whole lot of time, so I won't get into all that. But there were a number of incidents that occurred that led up to kind of that final moment for me. And in that relationship, I left. And he's like, babe, I'm sorry. I love you. Won't do it again. And it happens so much. And you go back. And you believe it. And you hope that that's really what's, that he won't do it again.
Right.
And, one time he almost killed me. And I had confronted him. He was cheating. And we got into an argument. And I knew the things that if I said would push his buttons and kind of make him flip. And I said it. And I won't, repeat it because
Right.
and everything.
Right.
But I knew
Right.
it. I knew how to get there. And he clipped me in the air. He sat on top of me. He started choking me. And all I remember was getting really cold and then blacking out. And then I saw it was like a dream. It was a really faint light in one direction. And I started walking towards that light. And as I walked towards it, the colder I got.
Wow.
And then in the other direction, I heard counting. And I turned around and walked towards the counting. And when I came to, he was counting. So I only could assume, because I had blacked out, that, I had blacked out and he was trying to give me CPR because I probably died. I don't know, but that was my recollection. And, after that moment, I got up and I did one of those, what's love got to do with it moments where you just get so fed up of being somebody's punching bag that you turn around and you hit them with everything that you have only to get an equal force returned back to you. And I remember looking at myself in the mirror and thinking, you know what, I can't do this. College graduate, professional athlete, working a professional job at that point, and I can't go to work because I have a concussion. I have black eyes. I have a busted lip. I have a bloody nose. And it was horrible. So fast forward of leaving that relationship and then going back into it, got pregnant. And, my mother never liked him. And one of the things that she said was, I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is, but no, like it's not him. No, it's not going to work. And she said, I don't want you to end up dead or pregnant. Ended up pregnant. And when I told him I was pregnant, he told me that I had two choices. One was to have an abortion, or we were engaged at the time. So he said I could have an abortion and we get married later.
Right.
Or I could keep the baby and get out.
Wow.
So I said, okay, well, I'm going to go with the latter. And then he was like, that was the wrong decision. And so for the next hour and a half, he proceeded to beat me. And, try to force feed me aspirin and the whole nine. So that was 2004. I went through a program for domestic violence victims through the Howard County Domestic Violence Center. And I was in that program for 7 months. So my entire pregnancy, I lived in their safe house, and then I went through their transitional housing program. Got back on my feet, got a place, and it really, I had to rebuild my entire life. Rebuild my credit,
Right.
Because that's the other thing when you're in a relationship where you just, you co-sign on cell phones and everything else. And then the next thing you know, your credit score is very, very low. So, so now fast forward, here we are 9 years later. I received a message on Facebook, and I've had, little contact with this individual because he's just not a present, person in my son's life, and that's totally fine.
Right.
Received a message from a young lady asking me how my son was doing because she and her company wanted to donate $10,000 towards his heart surgery. And of course, my face was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. You sure you have the right person?
Right.
No clue what you're
right.
of.
That's my son's name. Yeah, that's his father, but that's not. My son's fine. So we talked on the phone, and she said, well, he's told me that he's dying of a heart condition and needed to have heart surgery and needed to raise $40,000 because your insurance wouldn't cover it. So anyone that has any type of sense knows that, if you got medical insurance, there's no such thing as surgery insurance, but that's what he was going around telling people. And so he created 2 profiles on a crowdfunding website called giveforward.com, took a picture of my child, our child, I should say, but my child.
Right.
And basically said that my child was dying and needed to raise money. And he raised almost $12,000 from donors that didn't know. He was tweeting it and putting it on his Facebook page, and Give Forward was tweeting it and putting it, on their Facebook and Twitter feeds. And, so it went all around the world. And people were giving money out of the kindness of their hearts for something that wasn't true. So now, I'm in the middle of some legal battles, obviously, by somebody that's so insignificant at this point in my life.
Right.
But I'm now having to deal with it all over again because I have to keep talking about it. And, now I've had to, and I've told my son what has now happened. I haven't gone into a lot of details with him. He's not even 9 yet, but I feel like I need to be honest with him. I tried my best not to let my opinion of who his father is be his opinion, and I told him that I would never speak badly about him. But at this point, I needed to explain why I had to keep him away because he was starting to ask a lot of questions. Can I see my dad? Why does he live 20 minutes away? And I've only seen him once, and he'll be 9 in December. And he's seen his father that he can actually remember one time 4 years ago. So you have this person that didn't want the child, did everything in their power to keep me from having him, then has not been present in his life whatsoever, turn around and go and be like,
try to capitalize.
I love my child and help us and we need this and all this stuff, and take advantage of people, and then turn around and say, oh, well, I thought he was sick. Well, how did you think that? You never reached out to me. So, it's one of those things. It's a constant struggle. Even when you leave these situations, you always have to you got to stay prayed up.
Right.
You have to stay with your resources and just keep being encouraged and encourage other people, because you just never know when this fool's going to come back and try some mess again. It's like they never stop. Like the devil just keep coming all the time. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was going to be my question, because I wasn't, I didn't know how to. This is a touchy subject, but it needs to be talked about. So I wasn't sure how or if you had talked to your son, and I know we're not in the grave detail, but just enough that he knows and what. Because how do you this type of subject? How do you talk to a child about what happened to you and why a certain person is not in their life anymore and what they've done? And I know that had to be hard for you and trying to get the right words and.
Yeah, it took me 8 years to figure out how to tell him that, and I've only given him the 50,000-foot version of the story too. I've not gone into details, and his immediate reaction was one of anger, and I can understand that.
Yeah.
But it also helped him understand why I'm so strict about certain things. Lying is totally unacceptable in our household. Like, it just, is it raining outside? No, go outside and it's raining. Oh, okay, we can have a conversation about that.
Right. I like that.
It's just, and I talked to him about the importance of telling the truth and being honest and being a trustworthy person. Because you can lie your way through life. It doesn't get you very far, and his father's getting ready to experience that very soon. But, you just can't go through life doing those things. And it's hard, for a child that has one parent absent for any reason. They idolize what's missing, whether they know them or not. That person is on a pedestal. And so to learn otherwise is very damaging. And he's a very resilient kid. I love my son. I mean, he's amazing. He has, he's written a book about it. And we're working on trying to get it published.
That's what's
so
up.
that he can help other children that are going through traumatic experiences. So I love, and he did it on his own. I mean, we talk about it. He talks about how he feels. I hired a therapist that comes to the house once a week that works with him on learning how to release and not be angry and hold things in, because I don't want him to grow up and be another black man mad with chip on his shoulder, feeling like the world owes him something because daddy wasn't there. I don't want that to be his story. And so that's what we talk about. And, he'll ask, he's like, well, why did my dad hit you? And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, don't have the mindset of what did someone do to deserve that?
Right.
Because no one deserves that. It's wrong no matter what. So we've had those conversations. So he's been able to handle it and internalize it and process and talk about it, which is really important for me, that he knows how to talk about it.
I think that is awesome.
Yes, it is.
All of that. Like, that needs, where's my live studio audience? Right. That is awesome. Like, I only, like I said, I only knew snippets. I didn't know, and it's, for me, it's none of my business, and it's up to that person if they decide they want to share. And I'm honored that you were open to come on the show and talk about it, and hopefully this will enlighten or school someone else who's listening, or who's listening maybe have somebody in their family or friend that might be going through something that can help them. What would you say to an individual, whether it be man, woman, child, that is going through something of similarity? What advice would you give them? What would you, if you saw them one-on-one and had a conversation with them?
The reality is that when you are in that situation, the truth of it is that you don't love yourself. It's hard to say that, but your self-esteem is on zero, because if you cared anything about yourself, your children, or your family, because you put your family through some mess when you're in these situations. If you cared about you wouldn't do it. And it's a harsh message, but it's the truth. You have to love yourself. So you can't even try to help someone that's in an abusive relationship or situation until they're ready to be done with it. All you can really do, and that's advice that I give to families, is you just got to pray that they see the light, and that they don't get killed in the process, because everyone's story doesn't end like mine. Everyone doesn't get out.
Right.
But you have to love yourself. And once you determine, what, this fool is crazy, or I deserve better than that, or I need, I get it. And that was my struggle. It was one of those things. My friends knew what I was going through. They were like, hey, and they met him like, really, Kay? That's your dude? He's cute, but really, Keena? And it was hard to justify. I felt myself trying to explain, why he talked the way he did, or why he dressed the way he did. And my friends, they weren't used to that. So they were like, something's not right. And then the ones that really knew what was going on, one of them, very good friends, Denarian, he plays for the Redskins. He called my mama. I was so mad at him. I went off. Like, stay out my business and da-da-da. We've been friends since 9th grade in high school. But it was one of those things, even though he told my mom and she told my aunt, and my aunt told my grandma told my uncle, and I had all these family members like, we will drive to Maryland, we will do this, we will do that. It didn't matter, because I still went back to that situation. So then what ends up happening is when you're really ready and you're really done, you don't have anyone there to help you, because they've tried to help you before.
Right.
So, it's so like I said, with family, is you got to pray, stay prayed up. And, when I finally left the situation, it was because this man tried to kill me, you know?
Yeah, it got to that point.
It got to that point, and I was like, you know what? I get it. I got it before, but no, Lord, I got it. Yep, got it. And I had a police escort to the highway. I got to my mom's house, and she opened the door, and the look on her face was like, this is what I was scared that was going to happen. I cannot describe for you the emotion that she felt. But now that I'm a mother, I get it. Right. And my mom has a very nice house. I easily could have stayed with her. But she's like, you know what? That's not going to help you get where you need to be. And she called the Howard County Domestic Violence Center. I was hot with her. I didn't talk to her for a long time. You know, I was mad. Like, you put me out, and you got this big old house, and I'm living in a shelter, sharing a room with 3 girls and their kids, and I got chores and curfews, and no one can know where I live, and you know, I got to get dropped off on the corner. I mean, it was a hard time in life, especially to be pregnant at the same time. But you know, I am so ever thankful to her for doing that.
I'm sure it made you a stronger woman, a stronger person.
You know, it definitely did, and she did the right thing. You know, I was pissed. You know,
Right.
I was hot. You know, I mean, some family members was like, "I can't believe your mama did that," but you know,
I'm sure y'all close now, though.
We are closer, you know, and I can say to her, I appreciate, you know, that you did that for me, because that's what I needed. I needed the help, and I needed the resources of people that were trained to deal with this type of situation, and she wasn't, you know. But mama can, you know, but that was tough love. It was super tough. I don't know if I can do it to my own child, but
like, we're gonna fix this, baby. Just come on.
Right, exactly.
Have some gumbo, honey.
Right. I hear that with the gumbo.
You know, it's been a process, but I feel like, you know, God doesn't bring you through stuff for you to keep it to yourself.
Right.
And so I have no problem talking about what I went through. And, you know, I love working with women that are in the situation trying to figure out how to get out, or ready to get out, or have just gotten out, and trying to keep them from going back. But again, it's still that conversation of, honey, if you're not ready, you are wasting everyone's time, resources, and money. It really is just that serious. I lost some friends over that relationship, and even though we still communicate, the relationships are not the same. I mean, these people I've been friends with since middle school. One of my friend's fathers went off on me because she came to help me move out of that situation once. And he was like, don't ever put my daughter in that type of situation again. If he hitting you and he comes in and sees all y'all trying to move something out, what makes you think he won't try and come after my daughter? And again, you're selfish. You're in that moment like, it's all about you and help me. And I didn't even think about that. So again, you know, if anyone is in that situation, when you're ready, there are resources in every county in the state that are there to help you.
Right.
And they're ready. They're waiting for you, but you have to be
ready.
You have to be ready.
Wow, that was good.
Definitely.
We're gonna take a music break. When we come back, we're gonna hear from Rita, and then get back to Keena, because Keena, you've been working in the, you know, on the domestic violence awareness, and we're gonna talk about that too. So, guys, keep it locked. More Style Chronicles in a minute. Don't go nowhere.
It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style and Kiani T. Eastern Standard Time on WPBRadio.com.
All right, people, we're back.
Yes.
It's an all-new season of the Style Chronicles, Season 4, entitled Chapter 4. Our chronicle tonight is entitled No More Drana. Why I keep saying Drana?
She is on your mind.
Apparently, I met somebody named Drana.
Who is Drana?
Who is Drana? Did I have a dream about her or something? Why I'm probably gonna meet somebody named Drana.
And you gonna be floored.
I am gonna, and y'all gonna be everybody in this room gonna be the people I call and say why I met somebody named Drana. Apparently, like it keeps coming out my mouth.
If anybody that are listening to us, their name is
Drana, please call me. Please call 888-400-5574 because I keep saying your name. They say when you keep saying something that it's likely, like, I don't know. I keep saying Drana.
I hope I never run into somebody named Drana.
If y'all run into somebody named Drana, y'all better call me because I want to know who this is. And tell her to call me. Send me an Instagram, tweet, something.
Probably be just messed up in here like, oh my God, I need all your information.
Right.
Wow.
Maybe she might be my future baby mama or something. You never know.
Please don't have a baby.
I mean, it's just a name. That don't mean the baby name gonna be Drana.
My baby mother. My baby mother name is Drana.
Our chronicle for tonight is no more drama. See, ooh, yikes. Anywho, chronicle for tonight is no more drama, and we're honoring Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we just talked to Kina. We're going to talk to her in a few minutes because she's doing some great things with domestic violence. But awareness. Thank you. Right, not domestic. Right, thank you.
Nobody. I'm not smacking.
Right, she's not smacking nobody.
Like
She might do it in a movie or a play or something, but not in real life. See, that's why you my co-host, because she just
she is doing great things with domestic violence.
Right.
Awareness.
See, even though serious situation, you still gotta put some enlightenment to it. You do. Drana, she's doing some great things with domestic violence. Like, you gotta help me. This is what we do at the Styyle Chronicles. We ain't been lasting for 4 seasons for nothing.
Oh my goodness. I don't know, this might be our last show.
Stop it.
Like, there's some heartless folks talking about some child named Drana.
That they don't even know, talking about people or air. Oh, gosh. Okay.
So we serious face.
Yes. So we have someone in the studio who's no stranger to the Styyle Chronicles. They've been a guest co-host when I wasn't here and when Kiani wasn't here, and even when we were both here, they still came in and were our guest co-hosts.
Because I had no life.
Stop it. Yes, you do. So always Rita is in the studio. I thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm trying to hold back the tears.
I know you are. Please don't, because then you're gonna have me. You're gonna have me. You're gonna have me right, and I don't have time for that. I don't. Exactly. Thank you, Kina. Thank you. Yes. So, if you'd like to chime in and tell us a little bit of your story and how you got through it and where you are now in your life.
We ain't got no tissue, but I got some paper.
You got to rub it real hard to get it soft.
Just pat it.
Just the corner part. Just dab, right, the side.
Actually, I faced domestic violence at a very early age. Seeing my parents fight.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and my dad punching one another. My mom swinging off the back of a truck at 50 miles per hour. God, please help me. And it's so funny. I was telling Kiani earlier, the enemy was trying to keep me from telling this because this is going to free me tonight. I will be free from this. So later finding out as I aged, because my brother and I, we would be in the house literally screaming, Mommy, Daddy, stop. Mommy, Daddy, stop. Please stop. Please stop. And as Kina said, because you don't love yourself, you allow whatever to happen to you. So as I got older, realized a fight that my parents had been in, my mom shot my dad in his knee. Bullet is still in his knee. And late 90s, and it's so funny that we are on Security Boulevard because I met my abuser at the bowling alley right down the street.
Wow.
Met this gentleman. I was a party girl back then. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we were at the bowling alley. Whatever that midnight thing is, bowling. We all went out to breakfast in the morning. He became attracted to me. We started talking, phone conversations back and forth, and we began to get very close. At this point in time, this is when I was on the back of a motorcycle, like as much as I possibly could be. He had a motorcycle. So Friday evening, everyone went to work. We went to the bowling alley. We bowled. Saturday morning, it was breakfast. You go home, you took a nap, and we were back out Saturday afternoon on the bikes. We would go to Pennsylvania, horseback riding, go-kart racing, just everything. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday afternoon, you go home, you take a nap. Saturday night, where are you? Back at the bowling alley. Sunday morning, everyone's back at breakfast once again. For me, it was church. Sunday morning, they went home and they slept until it was time to go back on the bikes. Then you go down to the viaduct and then you're racing. And whatever that parking lot was on Northern Parkway, we used to go to. This gentleman and I, we began dating. I thought he was everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. This was my knight in shining armor. I didn't have to teach him table manners. I didn't have to teach him etiquette. I could take him places. And he was just everything. And we continued, we started dating very heavily. So heavily it got to the point where we moved in together. Actually, no, I moved in with him and his mom. He lived with his mom. He had never, ever dated Caucasian females. He had always dated African-American females. And it was like, okay, his mom did not care for me because I was African-American. His thing was, she's going to have to get over it. You're not going anywhere. And it became heavier and heavier and heavier. And I remember the first time we went out, he asked me, could he take me out? And I said, sure. And we went to Security Mall. This is when Heck Company was there. And matter of fact, it was to pay a bill because I didn't have transportation at this time. And he said, well, can I take you? I said, sure. So we're walking. I love clothes. That's just me. I saw this cardigan, really pretty. And I said, that's cute. That's nice. Not just thinking, just saying it. The next day, he arrives, beautiful box. And he said, well, won't you wait until we go to dinner and open it? And I said, okay, fine. Well, it was the sweater that I saw in the store. So it became to where I was getting gifts, which I was not used to. And I'm like, wow, I can become accustomed to this because I didn't receive that treatment from my dad. He was in the house, but he wasn't there.
Right.
I didn't hear my dad say, I love you until my mom passed away. And I was an adult. This was at 25 years of age. So we're dating, and everything I think is going wonderful. It get to the point we become engaged. We go down to a restaurant. He had me to invite all my friends, all my family, had them place the ring. Actually, this was the second time we got engaged because as Keena, I went back. The first time we got engaged, it was a different ring. And I don't even remember that proposal, but I do remember we went down to Miami to celebrate. And it was great. Come back, there was a gentleman that I had been friends with for quite some time. He still thought I was in love with this gentleman, although I had introduced them. But I was very close to him. When I say close to his family, they called me whenever something happened to him, whenever they wanted to talk, if they needed to go somewhere, they called me. And we just had that kind of relationship. I was the daughter-in-law, whether we, got married or not, because we were no longer together. And that became an issue for him. And I said, well, tell me what you want me to do. I'll back away from that relationship because I don't want to lose you, because here in my mind is, this is my husband. I'm going to marry this man. Right. So I don't want anything to mess that up. We moved into the apartment together, and we lived that wedded bliss life. There was nothing I wanted for. He took care of all the bills. I now had transportation to go any and everywhere I chose to go without no question. I was given car key. He would find another way to get to work, just so I always had transportation. It became a problem because I was a party girl. I liked to go out. I didn't care if he went with me or not, but if he saw me talking to a male and I didn't pay attention, someone else paid attention to it, Rita, I think you need to step away because you get ready to cause a problem. And I'm like, what? I'm just talking. I'm just having a conversation. And he knew the person, but he was looking at it completely different. We ended up separating. He moved out. I moved somewhere else. Did not give him my address. He followed me because he knew where I worked. At this same place where I received flowers on a weekly basis, I was now being stalked. He would sit outside of my job. He would wait for me to come out. I had to have people come to begin picking me up from work because I was terrified. But because he already knew where I lived, there was nothing I could do about it. I went, filed for ex parte, all of that, for him to stay away. He didn't care about any of that. I would be in the apartment and there are rocks being thrown at my window. I know you're in the house. Come the F outside. Come the F outside. If you don't come outside, I'm going to break the door down and I'm going to F you up. I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, okay. Calling by the time the police came, he was gone. I stayed at the job. I'd say maybe a month or so later, we were back together again because I didn't know. I can be honest. I didn't know me. I didn't love me. Parents, family didn't teach me what it was to be loved. So I didn't know. And I thought this was love because he's showering me. He's doing everything for me. He's taking care of me. And it was not love because that's what I saw in my home. We moved together again. Got engaged again. This time, a lavish party, restaurant downtown, family and friends invited. They could order whatever it was they wanted. The ring came out under the cover, the serving dish, and he proposed. And it's like everybody said, "Okay, so are you?" Give an answer, because I'm sitting and I'm thinking, do I really want to marry this man? Because I'm now going to be trapped in this situation. And it's like, okay, family and friends are here. You better say yes because you know something's going to happen. Said yes. We're happy. Had a friend to call me and we're talking. He went into this deep rage. Get the F off the phone. Get the F off the phone right now. And I'm like, what's wrong? What's going on? Tell me what's wrong. I said, look, I got to go. He grabbed me by my throat and pushed me into the wall. And he said, I don't know who you were talking to. Don't get on the effing phone anymore and talk to anybody. I don't give a F who it was. It could have been your mother. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get on the phone anymore. I'm not going to get. So I had to make phone calls from work. So I'm now terrified. We got into it again, and it got to the point where he tried to commit suicide because I said I was going to leave. I come home one day. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
His wrists are slit. He's popped multiple pills because later to find out he was bipolar. Not knowing this. And it wasn't something that he looked into. So with him doing all the hurt to himself, that's when we find out. So I end up going back because now there is this pity party. I feel sorry for him. I feel bad for him. I love him. I want to help him. And I can't even help myself. So we end up moving back to his mom's house. I cannot recall what took place, but this was in the evening one night. He went into another rage. He pushed me into the ceiling this time. He kicked me in my side. He kicked me in my face. And he's now, just stomping on me. Like he wants to take me out. And I'm screaming. His mom is not home. The neighbors heard, but they did nothing. So I'm literally screaming for my life. as this man is kicking me and kicking me and kicking me, and then he goes into punching me. So finally, I guess I screamed loud enough that the neighbors heard, and they called the police because they didn't know what was going on. The police come to the door. He opens the door. What do y'all want? What do y'all want? And he says, "Sir, is everything okay?" "Yeah, everything's fine. Get the F away from the door." "Well, sir, we need to make sure everybody in the house is okay. Is there anyone else in there with you?" "Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. I need y'all to get the F off my lawn." So the police says, "Sir, we need you to come out." They handcuffed him. He came back. He grabbed me and kicked me in my back down the stairs. When he kicked me down the stairs, he said, "You want her? There she is. Get that bee away from me. Get that bee away from me." They handcuffed him. They came, "Ma'am, are you okay?" I said, "No." I said, "He's kicked me. He's pushed me into the wall. I'm in pain." They took me to my parents' house. My parents didn't know what was going on. And I explained to them what was going on. So my mom, being the strong person that she was ready to go after him. And my dad and some of my other family members, they talked to her. I guess a week or so later, I get a phone call. He's back in the hospital because he tried to commit suicide again. In between this, we're having phone conversations because I think I'm in love with this man. I think this man is going to be my husband. I think I can help him. Because two messed up people, you think you can help one another. You're only doing more harm to each other. So I go back, and we get into another altercation. And this time, my older brother comes, and he's like, "Where is he?" I said, "He's gone. There's nothing you can do. Just leave it alone. Just please go back to mommy's." He comes back later that night, and I told him, I said, "Look," I said, "I can't go through this anymore. We need to separate because we're just hurting each other." This time, I get kicked again in the stomach on the ground, and he takes his foot and puts his foot on my neck. "B, you're not leaving me. You're not going anywhere. You're going to marry me. You're going to be my wife." And I'm like, "You know what? This is not going to work." He got a knife. I thought he was coming after me. He started cutting on his neck. And it's like he couldn't cut hard enough. And then he started slitting his wrist again. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I called the police. Because I was at that point, I thought I was done. They take him to the hospital. They place him on more medication. They pumped his stomach. His mom comes. "Rita, what's going on? What's going on?" I said, "I know that he's talked to you. I know he's talked to you." She said, "No, he won't say anything to me." So I leave the hospital. I go home because I'm clearing out my things. I want to be gone as far away as possible. I guess a week or so later, I receive a call from him. "Can you please come to the hospital? I just want to talk to you." Okay, fine. Me being stupid. I go back to the hospital, and I still have his car. I go to the hospital. His mom is in the room. He's in the bed. He asked his mom to leave, and he said, "You know what? I think you are right. I think we should just leave this alone." He grabbed, because at the time I had a necklace on, he grabbed the necklace. He snatched it off my neck because it was something that he purchased. He snatched it off my neck, and he was like, "Where are the car keys, B? Where are the car keys?" I said, "Here are your car keys." He said, "You know what? Take care." And I'm like, okay. At this time, we were living in Baltimore City. I was in Howard County. I said, "How am I going to get home?" At the time, the person that was my best friend, he came and picked me up. I went outside, and I'm like, okay, I'm upset because I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling like I need to help him, but I need to help me. I want to help him. I want to help me. And it's like, what do you do? Do you like being hit? Do you like being kicked? You like being pushed down the stairs? You like being called out of your name? Is it really that good to you? You want to stay. And it's like, you know what? This is your out. get your stuff, cut ties, and go. I never ran so fast in all my life, never to look back. And it took me quite some time to realize it wasn't love. It was the gifts. It was that not truly knowing what love was. Father was there, and I don't discredit my dad at all. My parents didn't know. My dad didn't know. His father wasn't there. So he didn't know how to love. So how could he teach me, his only baby girl, how to be loved, how a man should treat their daughter? He didn't learn. So he didn't know. And it's like a lot of the stuff that took place in my life, my rape, my molestation, my family doesn't know about it. They know none of it. This they knew about because at one particular point in time, we lived in different courts. We lived all of 5 minutes away. So I could run to their house. I could walk to their house. And other than that, they didn't know about it. And it's like now I think that's why I hold on so tight to Siani. And I tell her, no, that's not acceptable from a boy. If he can't come to the front door and meet me, he's not allowed to take you out. If I don't meet his parents, no, you can't go. And it's just teaching her because I wasn't taught.
Right.
So it was a struggle. It was a struggle to leave because I went back multiple times. And then it got to the point the stuff I didn't care about stuff anymore. And it was like, you know what? It's time for you to go. It's time to wake up. It's time to go. And I never looked back. I've ran into him on several occasions. He is now heavily tattooed. He is still on medication. He is still just going from relationship to relationship to relationship. And at one point in time, I gave it some thought. I'm not gonna lie, I gave it some thought. Wow, has the medication balanced him out to where we could have a real relationship? And it's like, you know what? Keep moving. Don't look back. That relationship was not for you.
Right.
And he would still say things that were just, I've received cards from him. And it's like, why are you sending me stuff? What is it? What do you want?
Right.
What do you want? And he said, you know what? I wasn't the best that I should have been for you. He said, but you were really good. He said, you never did anything to hurt me, to harm me. I had issues because women always hurt me, but you were different. And I thought you were going to be the same because I thought you were going to be like them. And I said, no. I said, and that's what you need to work through. I'm completely different. And it's been years since I've seen him. It's been years since I've seen him, and I've never allowed, not even verbally. You have one time to speak something that is not, deuces, bye, thanks, it's been nice knowing you, or I won't return your call. I won't return your text if I see you out. Well, I tried to contact you. You're not for me. I wish you nothing but the best, and I go.
Wow.
So when I tell people it's more to me being raped, it's more to me than being molested. There is so much more. God has been on me about a book for probably about 13 years.
Yeah,
and I've been so disobedient, and I had to actually apologize to God. And my pastor's been on it. You need to be obedient. You need to be obedient. So now I'm sitting down and I'm writing things because the enemy comes in.
Yep.
And he doesn't want me to do it.
Nope.
But I know this is a release for me. And I even had to go back to you today with you telling me, stop being so hard on yourself. Stop belittling yourself. Because even today, I'm like, and the enemy came in and was like, your story is not all that. It's not going to affect anybody. It's not going to touch anybody. It's not going to be as good. Just don't even go. Stay at home. And I was like, you know what? Everyone's situation is different.
Yes.
It's on different levels.
Yes.
But you don't know how many men, women, kids have gone through, and they've reached that point where you've been, go and share, because you have to give your whatever you go through. It's not for you. It's for someone
One else.
else,
Right.
so they can make it through and they can get out of whatever situation they may be in.
Right.
Even before, there's a young lady. Her name is Becky. Becky's from in DC. I first met Becky, and I was supposed to do walk a mile, and it was men that wore high heels, and they had to walk a mile in the high heels, and I was supposed to speak then, and I did not have the opportunity to speak. And I said, well, I don't know what happened. I said, I informed you, when I arrived. She said, but I didn't know it was you. She said, it was so much going on. I said, you know what? It wasn't my time. And I take the positive in everything, because I used to be so negative because there was so much toxin. I was so poisonous. It was ridiculous, but to God be all the glory.
Yes.
We
I'm
are
glad
free
you came.
and we are toxic free.
I'm glad you came and shared this story, because I'm sure it hit somebody. That was powerful. Ooh. We need to take a breather, guys.
Yes.
We're going to take a music break. When we come back, we're going to have more Style Chronicles. Woo.
It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style.
I don't I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. I don't know where to begin. That was heartfelt. That was I
But my number one question is, and this is not necessarily for me, but it's for our listening audience, is like, how do you move on? Not just physically, like move yourself from that situation, but just mentally. Like, how did y'all move on mentally from that situation?
With me, I had had enough because I saw it growing up, and I knew that was not what I wanted. I had to pull myself together. I had to sit down and figure out what it was that I didn't like about me, that I stayed in the situation. And it's like, okay, what changes are necessary for you to make to get out of this? I had to start looking at me. I had to start changing me. And it was a hard thing, just going through so much. It's a mental state. It was so mental because to go through that every day. Do you want to get kicked? Do you want to get hit? Do you want to get beat? Do you want to be verbally, emotionally abused every day? And my answer was no. It was more so. There was a movie, I believe it was called Enough, with Jennifer Lopez. She had enough. I got to that state where I had enough. I was done because I realized that can't be love. So I began to look at relationships in my family, around me, that were loving relationships, and I knew that's what I wanted, not what I already had. So I had to change mentally and emotionally because I was damaged.
Right.
I was damaged.
Yeah, for me, it was a little similar but different. I went through counseling. You know, in the Black community, we don't go to counseling; we go to church.
right. Yeah. That's how counseling.
Let me tell you what I'm going through. But the reality is that I needed to talk with someone that could really help me,
Right.
so that I didn't slip back into that situation. And part of the rules of the Howard County Domestic Violence Center was that you could not have contact with your abuser, and if they found out that you were out of the program. You had to go. You had one-on-one counseling. You had group therapy sessions, and it was all free. It was a part of the program, and it took a couple months just to realize, one, you don't deserve that. No one deserves that.
Right.
Right. And people walk up to me, oh, Keena, you're pretty, you're tall, you do this, da, da, da. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I felt ugly, you know, and I did things to myself. I would pick at stuff, on my skin. It was just, I just wasn't in a happy space. But I was also pregnant, so I didn't have time to be crying and depressed and everything, because I'm like, I'm about to be a mom. I'm already hormonal, so
Right.
and I'm not used to this life movement thing that's happening inside of me. But I knew I needed to be strong for my child, and I felt the first step was leaving on that day, because it was strange, because I tell people now, it was one thing to abuse me. It was something totally different to try and do it to my child.
Right.
And there's something about when people do things to your kids that sets you off in a different way.
Right.
And I can't explain it. I can't describe it, but it was like you are trying to now take something from me that is mine.
Right.
It didn't click for that in my mind
For
that
you.
he's actually trying to do that to me, and
Right.
my life is just as important.
Right.
That didn't come until later. And so, again, it was the therapy. I had a support circle. I had a very close group of friends that were there for me, and they know who I would call them out if I knew they were listening, but I don't know if they are.
Like, who these friends are?
But they know who they are.
Right.
It was my friends and some of their family, and like I said, it was a difficult time for my mom and I, because I was very angry. But like I said, I thank her every day for that. But it's constant. I'm constantly reassessing where I am mentally, because when you go through something like that, don't think that you can just
move
have
on
a
and just
counseling session
right.
and then you're ready for the next relationship, because you're not.
Right.
You have to get past that. You have to totally release. And it came to me saying, I can't stand this fool, but I have to forgive him for what he did.
Right.
Not for him,
But for
me.
you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To let it go.
And once I did that, and it took, I think I was single 3 years maybe before I started even considering
Right.
dating. And then it was this constant, okay, I can't, he probably cheating because everybody cheat, and you can't
Right.
bring that baggage into it. And he was, but it's all right.
Mhm.
But you don't tolerate it as long.
Right.
And I
Right.
noticed that, my gauge for that, my tolerance level was super low, and got out of that relationship and then moved into another one. Really nice guy, wasn't good for me. Still, but there were some controlling behaviors that I identified early on.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? This will turn into what I just left out of a couple years ago. So, nice guy, not good for me, didn't work. And now, I feel bad sometimes because I'm in a great relationship and things are awesome. And I feel like sometimes I give my man the blues because I'm like, you better not. Because if you
But you helped me as far as one of my other questions was like, after it's all said and done, and whatever you had to go through to kind of cope, if you will, just not to put it lightly, but just to say cope, and then it's time to really like, I'm still a female or person who wants that affection or love. Like, how do you get to that point where you're ready to attempt to even let someone back into that space?
I think even being honest about what you've gone through is the first thing. I was always upfront with any man that was even looking, because it's a mutual decision, right? Like,
Right.
So I want you to know what I've been through. It doesn't mean that you're gonna have to, tiptoe through tulips with me, but I
Right.
might not want to play fight.
Right.
I might not want to wrestle because it might take me back to something. I'm not ready for that. But you take it one day at a time, and you'll know. When you're ready. And you shouldn't rush it. You definitely should not rush it. But I would not advise anybody that's getting out of a situation to try and get into something else.
Right.
And so, you know that you can be in the same room with that person and it not affect you. When you can sit across from your former abuser and not want to jump across the table and strangle them, then it's different. I see my son's father regularly in child support court because he's Debbie. He's not paying. So I have to go every month for the contempt hearing. I'm at a place now where I see him like, and keep it moving. I don't have this anger inside of me anymore. I have released that. Now with this whole give forward thing, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that, it took me back, and I was just enraged.
Right. Because it went back to what you were talking about with your child. Like,
right. It's like, how you do that to your own child, and I had to see him literally maybe 3 or 4 weeks after I found out about all of this. And he did the best thing that he could have done for all parties involved. Stay out of my way and not speak to me. Don't even acknowledge that you see me in the room.
Right.
And it was crazy because there are 2 rows in the courtroom. I was sitting in the back row. He literally sat in the seat in front of me. So I'm looking at the back of his head the entire time I'm waiting for our case to be called. But I knew, you know what? I'm in a totally different space because I'm not trying to punch this fool in the back of his head.
Right.
One, the bailiff is on the other side waiting.
Right.
But you have to, when you can do that, then you can consider trying to be in a relationship. But if you are just still angry or fearful, then you can't be with somebody else because you're always going to be worried that that next person is going to do the same thing to you. Now you become smarter. You definitely know what the signs are. You learn what those red flags are, what controlling behaviors look like, and that's what that therapy taught me. So as soon as I would see it, this is not going to work.
Right.
Thank you very much. And, you have to move on. But you have to, you got to pray.
Yes.
You gotta be like, Lord, help me. Just keep me. And that's, for me, that's how I did it.
And one thing that you said that we've touched on several times throughout the seasons, and even a play that I've been part of, touch on it about the fact, especially in the Black community, we don't do therapy. We don't go to counseling. We just go to church and think that fixes everything. And not knocking church, but it's just like we need that professional help. Like you said, those who are trained to deal with the situations, those are the ones we need to see.
Right. And not knocking, going to your pastor, because my pastor at the time, he was amazing. But there were 2 things that he said to me. And one of something my uncle said to me when he first met my former abuser. And he said, without knowing anything, love is an action word. And that's all. He's like, niece, love is an action word. And he just walked off. I'm like, this really?
Like, you're not going to give me more.
Lady,
What am I supposed to do with that? So,
ladies, we're going to change up a little bit. I think we have a caller on the line. Caller, are you there?
Hello,
Hello, is this Mr. Hardy?
this is he.
How are you, sir? This is Terrence Styles. You're calling in the Style Chronicles. Thank you so much for calling in. I know I missed you the first couple of times. We're having a heated conversation at the moment, but I thank you for taking the time out of rehearsal and calling us. Ladies and gentlemen, all the listeners right now, I'm currently talking to James Earl Hardy. He is coming to the DMV, the DC area, this Friday for his play. He's coming back to DC, B-Boy Blues. So, Mr. Hardy, can you just tell us, about your play and what can people look forward to as far as coming to the play?
Well, sure. Thanks so much for the invite. B-Boy Blues is based on my novel, which was released almost 20 years ago. It's actually been tagged the first gay hip-hop love story.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had been working on a theatrical version and a movie version, which is what most people are familiar with, for a few years. But like I always said, the play was going to come first.
Okay.
And it debuted a few months ago here in New York, was brought back for 3 more performances, and then we were at Howard in June, literally standing room only at the Ira Eldridge. So we're coming back.
I know that's right. So, for those that that missed the play when you came to Howard, what can you tell people what they can look forward to this coming Friday?
Well, they can look forward to their favorite characters coming to life. But I gotta say that I literally get choked up every time I see the performance. When you create something in the privacy of your own whatever, and then release it into the universe as a book, and people claim it, it's definitely a blessing. But to see those characters come to life,
Right.
Full flesh life, is something totally different. So I do not think people are going to be disappointed at all.
I actually had the pleasure of reading the book. I had the book for some time. I read the book. I absolutely, enjoyed the read. I'm looking forward to. I missed the play when it came in June at Howard. I'm coming this Friday to check out the play and just see the relations from the book. Is there any similarities? Are there any differences as far as the play and the book is concerned?
Well, probably the major difference between the play and the novel are the number of characters.
Okay.
Some will probably be disappointed that some of their favorite characters didn't make it into the story, but you can't have a cast of 1,000
That's true.
on the stage, particularly when the play itself is 90 minutes without an intermission.
Oh, okay.
But I think given the time that we had to work with and many of the themes that we had to cover, that we've done a really good job. So.
Good stuff. What are you excited about, just bringing it here to DC, and how different has it been with the first time around and when you did it in New York? Or was there a difference?
I don't know if there's so much a difference. It's just that with each performance, the profile of the play bumps up and there's even more excitement.
Okay, got you. Okay.
So, and in fact, we're hoping that lasts because we eventually want to see the show off Broadway and Broadway.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's what we're working towards.
Good stuff. I wanted to have you on the show because like I said, I read the book and I'm coming to the play on Friday. But I actually had I actually met you. I actually came to New York when you were casting, and I actually auditioned. So I was like, oh, this is perfect that I can, I met you at the audition and then have you on to talk about the play and actually to go see it. So that's how I wanted to kind of like a full circle, so to speak, just to kind of, you know what I mean, put a little asterisk at the end or a period at the end of the story, so to speak. So that's why I wanted to have you on and talk about the play. So hopefully, I don't know if there would be like afterwards, after the play, to meet the cast or you or what have you. But if so, I look forward to that. If not, that's fine too. But I do look forward to checking out the play. And I know Al Sora, which I'm good. The Styyle Chronicles is good friends with. They are good people, and I'm sure you're going to be in very good hands with Mr. Briggs. because he takes care of his people.
definitely.
So, but yes, I'm
It
excited.
so happens most people seem to assume that he is the Raheem, aka Pookie, in the book.
Oh, right. Right. I mean, his bill could probably be Pookie. Could be. That's a part. I didn't even think about that. That was a good one. Definitely. But I'm not gonna hold you too long. I know you had to get away from rehearsal, and I know how that is being a thespian. I know how that is. So I definitely look forward to the play, and hopefully I get to meet you on Friday.
Oh yeah, I believe there will be like a Q&A after the performance,
Okay.
and will be
awesome.
like a mixer afterwards.
Oh,
So
cool. Okay.
we can definitely have some FaceTime.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I will come and introduce myself so you can put a face with a name and all that good stuff.
Okay, good.
All right. Have a good evening, sir. And I know you're not the actor in it, but break a leg anyway, because we have to say that. All right.
Will do, and please have folks visit the Alsora site.
Yes,
Or,
definitely.
the B-Boy Blues page, B-Boy Blues the play.
Yes,
On
definitely.
Facebook for more information.
Yes, definitely. Check that out. B-Boy Blues coming to Washington,
So
D.C.
get them while they're hot.
Yes, get them while they had, because you don't want to be on the other end trying to get in.
That's right.
All right, Mr. Hardy, you have a good evening.
Thank you so
You
much.
too.
All
Thanks
right,
so
have a
much.
good one. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Mr. James Earl Hardy. He's the author, playwright of B-Boy Blues. He wrote that novel many moons ago. And sometimes that just shows you how long it takes to get something up and running and get them in production and things of that sort. So, like he said, it was here in D.C. Well, not here because we're in Baltimore, but it was in D.C. and back
was
in
over there.
right in June. Right. Oh, here she go with the Redskins. Back in June, and then they're bringing it back to D.C. at the Beacon Theater, if I'm not mistaken, this Friday. So I'm gonna go check it out. That would be my event. Because a certain other half of yours talking about it's his turn to have an event, to go to an event. So that would be my event for the weekend. Event that.
That's the Booski looking out.
Right. Event
The
event
unofficial
that
manager of the Style
Right. He's like the unofficial manager of the Style Chronicles. Somebody, it's Terrence's turn to go to an event. Well, that's my event. Booski. Anywho, we're gonna take a quick music break. When we come back, we're gonna close it out with the ladies here. I commend them so much for telling their story. This is what the Style Chronicles is all about.
Yes.
Whether y'all believe it or not, this is what the Style Chronicles is all about. So we're gonna take a quick music break. When we come back, we're gonna close it out the show and with the ladies. All right, more Style Chronicles in a minute. Don't go nowhere.
See you on the flip side.
It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style and Kiani T. Agent host the Style. It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style and Kiani T. Agent host the Style Chronicles. Innovative, entertaining, out the box. Every Monday from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WPBRadio.com.
All right, people, it is 9:52. We're wrapping up tonight's show, but before we do, we're going to just find out what the ladies are up to and what's next for them. I'm gonna start with Keena. Keena, what's going on with you? I know you're you have some events or that's around Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So can you kind of talk about that a little bit and what the benefit is and all that good stuff?
Sure. So my next event, I've already had one, which was a Zumbathon that we did. So it was supposed to be 2 hours, but it was super hot and the women were tired. So we did an hour and a half of sweating, burning calories. But I have every year I do a Zumbathon and then a bowling event. So to raise money to give back to the Domestic Violence Center of Howard County, which personally helped me. And then this year I wanted it to be a little bigger, so I also selected my sister's place in Washington, D.C., which is, they do the very same thing, just for District of D.C. residents. So the next event is the Spare the Strike Bowling charity event. And that's going to be at Bowlmore in Rockville on November 2nd from 9 to 12 a.m. I'm really excited about the event because normally I have it at Lucky Strike, but Bowlmore Rockville actually is a newer facility.
Okay.
And they're a little cheaper.
Okay. Cheap is good.
But it's the setup is just like Lucky Strike.
Okay.
It's just in Rockville.
Okay.
So I have some celebrity guest appearances.
Cool.
I also have the cast from Anacostia, the web series coming. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that my Glenn Jackson, the agency family will come. And then I have guest surprises, but I can't talk about that. I'm working on the King Show and a couple other things. So I'm really excited about that. And the proceeds from that will also go to both of those charities. So
good stuff.
I'm
That's
excited.
good stuff.
I'm excited. So if you're interested in attending, the tickets are $40. And you can go to sparethestrike.eventbrite.com. Again, that's sparethestrike.eventbrite.com.
Okay.
And that includes your shoe rental, unlimited bowling for 3 hours, and hors d'oeuvres, and then we'll have drink specials. So.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, it's on my calendar to
there.
attend, so
Yes.
I don't know if my co-host will join me, but
I think you all should come because I love to bowl.
yeah.
I was about to say, your co-host has been bowling since she was 9 years old.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I have my own balls to this
Yes.
day.
Yes.
Okay.
I have my own shoes with the little slider
Yeah, what
on
happened-
it.
yeah, what happens if somebody has
I'm
on
always
bowling
wary
shoes?
about people when they come with their own stuff because I have a cast member who will remain nameless.
Air it out, air it out.
No. But he came to the bowling event with his Green Lantern shirt on, and he had his own shoes and bowling ball. And I would think he broke like 80, 90 pins. So I was a little confused.
Ooh.
That is confusing.
Shade. No,
Well-
but in all seriousness.
I'm like,
So what happens when somebody brings their own ball and
and I
shoe?
have
Like,
my
how
own
does that
glove,
work?
Too, 'cause my
That's
wrist
fine.
is
They can still
flimsy.
bring it. I mean, if you think about it, it's $40.
Okay.
I'm feeding you.
And bowling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
I'm about to say
bowling,
bowling is not
you know.
cheap. So
Okay. I
yeah,
was just
so,
wondering because
yeah, so
you have your people that's gonna ask that.
Well, it can just consider the extra to be a
Gotcha.
donation.
Right,
Okay,
'cause the
that's cool.
Um,
So
yeah.
put it on your calendar. See if you
please
can
put
come.
it on your
See if you can
November
November
second.
2nd. So it's also
See if you can get
kicking
away.
off my birthday month. So I decided to. I'm a Sagittarius. Yes.
Well, you're Sagittarius,
You're a
but-
Scorpio.
yes.
Oh, that's okay.
But it's the
It's
month
in
November.
November,
Yes,
right.
exactly.
So, kicking off November, closing
Right.
out Domestic Violence Awareness Month with this event. So remember, go to Eventbrite, sparethestrike.eventbrite.com.
Okay. Good stuff.
Awesome.
Miss
I
Rita.
just saw that today.
Really? Are you coming?
And I was like,
We should all go.
But see,
See what
I'm
the
one of the
plan.
ones that I have a caboose which holds 2 balls, and then I have 2 other balls in my shoes. But I used to bowl in a league, and because it's been like eons since I bowled, yeah, I'm one of the ones that bowl. If I get 100 now, I'm happy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that whole 189. That's
Long
cool.
gone. Maybe we should make a trip of it.
That would be fun.
I'll drive.
Ooh.
Cut across 200, the ICC. And
I'll drive.
let's go.
If we all go,
Please come. Yay.
Well, yeah, I'll probably have an extra guest.
that's fine. My car's
And
big
I'm
enough.
gonna put the disclaimer out there now because if he comes, Lord Jesus,
Oh yeah.
please don't nobody put it on
He's a
me.
handful.
No, with bowling because we went bowling
Oh.
before, and he throws the ball. And I'm not talking about like
Like
the people
Fred
that still got the
Flintstone?
hand underneath of it and they kind of let it go and it fall. No, he throws the
Wow.
ball.
We'll have to get that on video.
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
YouTube, yes.
Yeah, so y'all think about it. Get back to me. I'll drive. Everybody can fit in my car.
That'd be
That's
great.
my boss.
Okay. Rita,
I am. Of
You
course,
crying
still,
again?
No,
I'm about to say,
something
oh, Lord.
is going on.
You crying
I'm
again?
like, oh my God.
Oh no!
Jesus.
Still working with the modeling agency, and actually with the calendar that I just shot. Anyone that purchased a calendar under my name, proceeds went to the House of Ruth
Oh, cool.
on my behalf. So, modeling agency model is heading to London. Cover and a 6-page spread.
Wow.
Right
now.
Wow.
Give you my comp card.
So,
Right.
so our models are working. They are getting paid because Mama likes shoes.
Okay.
But yeah, just preparing the child for college.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I thank you, ladies, for just
Yes.
being here on the show and sharing your story. I'm hoping it touched somebody. And if it touched you, hopefully you can share that with someone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're currently going through that, please, I hope and pray that it gives you that elevation to say it's time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Enough is enough.
Definitely. All right, guys. Our chronicle for next week is, and we're honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's entitled "I'm a Survivor." So we're closing out. Next week is our last chronicle for the month. So we're already at our last chronicle for the month.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
So again,
October is up.
yeah. So next week's chronicle is in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's entitled "I'm a Survivor." All right. So it's time for our chronicle message.
Yeah, so mine's got trumped.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I have two. Let me take that back. I'm not going to read any of mine.
Okay.
But as I am going to do every week, I'll
Yes.
give our wonderful listening audience a chance to have that chronicle message read
I
live
love
on the
that.
air.
I love it.
Live on the air. And what I'm
Where
going
is
to do.
this one coming from?
You sounded
I'm
like Miss
first of all,
Cleo. Call me now.
Go me now.
Call
Live
me
on
now.
the
So before I actually get into the one that I'm going to read live on the air,
Mhm.
live on the air, I want to reiterate Troy's.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Well.
if I cut you off, chances are you gave me the scissors.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, indeed.
So, Terrence, if you don't hear from me beyond today, so no. I joke.
I know we gotta make it spike. We gotta.
We
Yeah,
gotta hurry
90s
up. I'm gonna do this
90s
30
Play Lounge is
seconds.
here.
This quote comes by way of Shamara Thornton, which is Shamara that bodega.
Oh.
Troy. Yeah, I know him by a different name. So
Right.
yeah, Troy
Okay.
highlighted. She has a quote that came from Thomas S. Munson, sorry. Choose your friends with caution. Plan your future with purpose. And frame your life with faith.
I love it. Thank you, Shamar. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you, Shamara. My Mara.
Shamara.
I call
All
her
right.
my Mara.
All right, my chronicle message for tonight is. Thank you. Okay. My chronicle message for tonight is: your thoughts dictate your emotions. Your emotions dictate your actions, and your actions are going to produce the results, positive or negative. Again, your thoughts dictate your emotions dictate your actions, and your actions are going to produce the results, positive or negative. All right, guys, it is tonight's is the end of Chronicle 3. No more drama. Again, I want to thank always Rita. I want to thank Kina Hodges for being on the show and sharing their stories. We'll be back next week for our Chronicle honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month entitled "I'm a Survivor." I hope everyone has a great night. I love you from the bottom of my Chronicle heart. Deuces.
Bye-bye.
It's Style Chronicles Worldwide, a journey of experience through life and entertainment. Terrence Style and Kiani T. Agent host the Style Chronicles. Innovative, entertaining, out the box. Every Monday from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WPBRadio.com.